Call regular meeting of the Johnson County Fiscal Court order at this time. First item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Paul, you want to start?
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is the approval of the minutes of the June 11th regular meeting and June 25th special meeting. You have those in your packet. Do you have any questions, amendments, or changes? If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as mentioned.
Make a motion to approve them.
Motion by Commissioner Adams, second by Commissioner Daniel. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Next item is the approval of the monthly bills. You have those bills before you. And then it looks like general type of bills that we normally incur. Pat, is there anything?
About the same, Judge.
Okay. Any questions from the court with regard to the bills for general fund, the sheriff's fund, the jail fund? They mentioned the jail bill, thank goodness. Came back down last month, and instead of the 50-some thousand, we got about a 43 this time.
about 61.
Sale to 6 less, that's pretty high, I knew that. Which is always good news.
Move to approve the bills as presented.
I have a motion by Commissioner Daniel to approve the bills, second by Commissioner Gamble. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the,
You signed it.
let me sign that thing. Next item are transfers. The monthly transfer to the fiscal court. $40,000 from 4909 to the general, or from the general fund to the jail fund. Account number 4910. This is a standard monthly approval of the transfer for jail costs. Have any questions?
Motion to approve the transfer.
Have a motion to approve the transfer.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the permission to sign an MOA would, are we trying to get us ahead of, on the MOA? We expected one right away.
We're expecting one,
Says you had contact with Craig Carter with room and installation concerning our flex funding for asphalt.
yeah, we've got one coming. It should be here sometime this month. It'll be in the $140,000 range. But he said he would not be able to get the MOA here before the court meeting. That's why he wanted y'all to give you permission to go ahead and sign it so you can send it back the day it comes.
Okay, so this is something that's normal, but it's just gonna be delayed on their end, and they want us.
Right, they weren't allowed to send out any of the MOAs till after the start of the new fiscal year. And with our court meeting being so close to the first of the fiscal year, he knew that you would have to come back and have a special call court meeting to get permission. He was just trying to save you the process of having to come back.
These are already for roads, $143,000 for roads that we've already been approved for. And it's nothing more than trying to accommodate their request for signature, so we're not bogged down and end up later trying to get our project started. It's been our whole problem in the last 5 years or so. It's not really been a major problem, but a big problem lies with delays in getting those things out to all 120 counties, I guess, for proper signatures. And we've looked and searched every way we can to try to speed that process up a little bit. Because the biggest problem we got locally is to get contractors. We don't have a lot of road contractors out there. There's, I guess, one. We have a single vendor, and that's Mountain Enterprises. So we're kind of at their mercy as well, and they do a good part, if not all, of the state blacktopping up here in eastern Kentucky. So we're battling them. They only have so many people that can crews that can run blacktop, and we battle them to try to make sure that we've got, we're in line and we don't have to get behind, and we can sign everything that needs to be signed at the same time. So that's what we're doing in this MOA. We're trying to get early approval to sign an MOA we know is coming. It's going to say you're going to get X number of dollars, $143,000, I believe. And they just want somebody that can, if it comes in 10 days, 2 weeks, 3 days, or 24 hours, I guess, they want to be able to come in and get it signed and get it processed so we can get our money and start blacktopping. So that's what we're up against, and I would recommend that we do it the way we've always done it. That if you agree, you can authorize me through an MOA that we'll prepare to sign any and all documents associated with that lot of money. Nothing but that one issue. 104, said 143, 140.
149.
139,301.
I knew it was something.
Yeah.
So that's all we're asking for.
I move it will give you permission to sign any and all documents related to this MOA.
Yeah, I got a motion from Commissioner Daniels,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Gamble. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? Motion carries. Next item is nothing more than a cooperative agreement that the county's asked us, and we've exchanged these activities from time to time. The 5 counties of the Big Sandy Regional Industrial Development Board up on corner of Martin County where the prison is and everything. We have an industrial board up there that we've got several businesses that are working up there, and we've had some businesses move out. In the long haul, it is a site that we've marketed every way we can and have enough room up there to do an awful lot of good on an abandoned strip mine. And that comes at the, obviously, something we don't have here in Johnson County, is a lot of flat land associated with mining. We had a little bit of mining, but not much. And none of it was close to the city. That would change, like Hazard. My goodness, Hazard has kind of been moved from downtown up on the hill, and almost everything's up there now. And everywhere you look, you see the high walls around you. Of course, it's a half a mile away. But the same way at Big Sandy, Jim Booth and several other mining operations, after that property was reclaimed, and they were trying to help as much as they could to gain something or leave something, if you will, and return any kind of help and assistance to the communities that they could. So they donated several hundred acres. I don't know how many, but a lot of property. And I think 300 of it went to the prison, the new prison. And it was new then, it's not new now. But on that board, and each county has a member on that board. And Floyd County's member apparently needed to be renamed. And Judge Hale, and there's a copy of his resolution there that his court held on Friday, June 15th. And he named David Willis, or recommended David Willis, to be appointed to the Biz Rita Board as the Floyd County representative to fill, or to replace Arnold Turner, who was serving an unexpired term for the late Barclay Sturgill. And Judge Hale recommended and appointed David Ellis to the Biz Rita Board and asked, just as a matter of courtesy, he sent copies of his resolution around to the other counties, and he just wanted us to sign an exact same resolution that we've seen and we approved David Ellis. And that's a matter of courtesy. And I would certainly recommend that we recommend or concur with Judge Hale's recommendation for Mr. Ellis. Do you all have any comments or feelings either way?
Will we approve the resolution?
I have a motion that we approve the resolution for Johnson County. And a second by Commissioner Gamble. I will send this with a letter to Judge Hale telling him of the action of the court, and I appreciate very much us extending that courtesy. Next item.
Need to vote on it?
Oh, did we vote? Okay, I need a motion, need a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item is the amendment for the sheriff's office. You'll see that sheriff has received unanticipated receipts. He's recommending that the money is used $8,100 for left, I guess, for May and June. $3,400 for the school resource officer. $400 for surplus equipment. sheriff's administrator as an estate, or as an estate administrator, received $822. He's asking that those funds all be transferred to increase the budget line items of his current budget. The CLAF money, as we said, is $8,100. School resource officer is $3,400. Surplus equipment $400, and estate settlement $822. And that would increase deputy gross salaries by $11,567, and police equipment in his budget would go up $1,222.19. Any comments or questions?
Make a motion, we approve the amendment for the sheriff.
Motion that we approve the sheriff's amendment,
Second.
second by Commissioner Adams. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the settlement, the sheriff's tax settlements. There's several pages in here. Everybody had a copy of the settlement. The press had a copy. Good. If you don't mind, I'm not going to go through and read every bit of it. I'll hit the highlights. And if you got any questions, feel free to ask. We'll be available at the office anytime if you have questions otherwise. First one is tax settlement to the Johnson County Treasurer for November 1, 2017 to April 16, 2018. Charges or tax bills totals of $42,216 is the total. You add penalties and interest on real estate, tangible taxes, franchise taxes, and you subtract add the additions there to the original charges, and you get $828,574. You look at that's total charges. You look at the items that have credits through discounts and refunds, exonerations, real estate uncollected taxes, and so forth. You get total credits of $83,528. Charges over credits, $745,045, less the amount paid to the Johnson County Treasurer of $745,063, and that balances except we owe the sheriff and the Johnson County Treasurer $18. To the Johnson County School Districts, we have charges and tax bills for the school district of $2,667,310. If you add the additions here, franchise taxes and other minor items, you get an additional part that you add on, and the total charges then is $613. If you look at the credits applied against that, you have total credits of $202,846. you got, amount paid, the Johnson County District is $2,847,380. Due from the Johnson County District is an amount of $543. The Sheriff's Commission is also included in this, and he is due from the Johnson County School District $108. Tax settlement for the Johnson County Library, you have charges and tax bills in the amount of $711,000. You put additional increases on there for $118,000. You have total charges of $818,216.06. Yeah. You have credits in the amount of $82,508. Charges over credits, $735,707. The amount paid to the library is $735,793, and due to the Johnson County Library to the Sheriff's Office is $86. The Health Department settlement, charges and tax bills, $484,054. Additional monies to that number, total $56,075, for total charges of $540,133. Total credits to that, added against that account, are $54,456. Charges over credits are $485,677, less the amount already paid to the Health Department in the amount of $485,750. Due from the Health Department to the Sheriff's Office is $72. Johnson County Extension District, you'll notice that the charges and tax bills are $293,798. Added to that number are the penalties and interest, real estate, 2017 and 16, and tangibles taxes, and franchise taxes of $34,619. Total charges are then $330,323. Total credits are listed as you can see. The total credits are $33,335 applied to the original number. That leaves charges over credits $296,980, $296,988, less the amount already paid to the Extension Service of $297,005, leaves an amount of $16 due from the Extension Service. Johnson County Fire Protection District, charges and tax bills of only $2,463. Total credits of $264, leaving charges over credit of $2,198, less the amount paid for fire protection of $2,198, which zeroes that out. Johnson County Soil Conservation, charges over tax bills, $52,908. Additional numbers of $1,285 for total charges of $54,193. And credits applied to that settlement are discounts, refunds, exonerations, the same thing we're going to do, for total credits of $5,446. Charges over credits are $48,747, less the amount paid to the school district already of $48,734, which leaves $12.52 the sheriff owes conservation district. Now this other group has got all the fire departments, all 11 or 12 fire departments. Mike's going to need that, read that,
I don't think so, Judge.
because there's 3 or 4 pages of,
Everybody's got copies.
and if you've got copies, then feel free to come by. But all the same numbers are in here. If there's any issues at all, we'll be more than happy to clean them up. Is there any discussion by the board or the commission about the sheriff's financial statement? If not, I'd like to suggest that we approve the settlement as presented. Can I have a motion to that effect?
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Adams,
Second motion.
second by Commissioner Daniel. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item in the context of what Will was talking about a while ago, every year at this time we submit bids and advertise for bids for blacktop for the county's blacktop programs. We're at that time now to apply, and I'm beginning to wonder if we're going about this backward. I guess every time this year is still holiday time. Maybe people travel and they're off and they go places with their kids and they drive a lot. Because it seems like the gasoline prices goes up every time you have a holiday. I'm just wondering whether if we maybe reverse that and advertise in February. Maybe those numbers would be different.
It doesn't matter because they're gonna have that state approved.
You're right.
increase on it anyway.
And, you know, it's just a way the game is played. And they react obviously to the oil market in that respect. They don't, I don't think they're scripted to bring those prices down as they are to put them up. But that's something for a different day's discussion. So I recommend that you offer us, or give us the authority to advertise for blacktop bids this week.
I'll have them in next week's paper, run it for 2 weeks, and then give them a deadline for the fiscal court meeting in August.
Okay. Have a motion by Commissioner Adams, and a second by Commissioner Gamble. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Gary, is your report kind of lengthy this time, or are you still walking sideways from that wind?
It was bad, but it could have been a lot worse.
I agree.
But on behalf of the city, I want to thank you and the fiscal court for Willard. You all right there with us, ready to help at any time. And you all was a big help up the south side. That was an area, or Hill Branch Road, that was completely blocked. And, you know, you're all helping assist us. Power Company's done a tremendous job. Just to look at the amount of lines and damage we had, they probably Our supervisor was probably on the scene within an hour of the incident. And of course, most of you seen on Thursday morning, we had contractors in here, especially from Elliott, and they were trying to put 2nd Street back together. And actually, trying to think of the time frame, probably around 10 or 11 o'clock Wednesday evening, they got the plaza back up, and along with Paul B. Hall. Paul B. Hall has a generator, but it doesn't operate the whole hospital, you know, with all their equipment. So that was a big priority with me and with Kentucky Power. They kind of have a priority list of critical facilities such as the hospital, nursing homes, that sort of thing. So they come in and done a good job. I think we took about probably 15 calls in my office of residential houses that had damage. And as most of you seen, it was big trees on big houses. It's about the way it all turned out. You know, there was some huge trees, that came down in yards. And just really, really fortunate we didn't have any injuries. And I know First Baptist Church was having an event in the parking lot, and the steeple flew off while they was in the parking lot. They was out there trying to hold the tents down when the steeple went off and came in on the 3rd Street side. So, but just wanted to, you know, thank the court for your all's help. You know, meant a lot. Everybody pulled together real quick and got the work done and got the streets open.
Gary, I tell you, it's the strangest thing. I was sitting out on my patio talking to my wife, and we were getting no rain whatsoever. I heard a little thunder in the distance over toward Paintsville, and I don't live, less than a mile from Mayo School, I'm sure. And we'd look, I'd say, you know what, somebody's getting a big storm, we'll probably get over here sooner or later. And then my beeper went off. And about that same time, I walked in and the weather service was up with the weather report from Lexington, I guess. They were talking about Paintsville specifically. I went back up and told Paige, I said, I'm going to drive over town and see what's going on. I get the drift. There's something either serious brewing or something that's imminent. And I get down to about the intersection down there, I guess where the sign is, welcome to Paintsville. And I can see the remnants of that storm. And, you know, trees, limbs on the road and things of that nature. By the time I get around to town, I stop there at that little business that was going out of town there. It's a old garage or something. I was there and got out and looked down the street and saw all these lights going. And so I finally meandered around and was able to get into the parking lot down at the church coming in the back way. And walked up and found you guys. And everybody should know we've had several storms and catastrophic events since I've been in office. Gary and I worked closely on every single one of those. And so has my fiscal court. We've all responded and we'll continue to do so. You know, in the end, when it's all over, we're all neighbors. And if one of us suffers, all of us feel it. And, you know, we have a few differences of opinion sometimes from a social issue or whatever, if you will. But long story short, I'm tickled that we were there, and we got 5 or 6 men, what will
I think you called me at 8:30, and we had our men on the road heading to the Paintsville Street Department by 9 o'clock. And
We
they
had
worked
trucks.
about 2 o'clock in the morning.
trucks and saws and things of that nature. And then they worked and left around 2 or 3. You had a open on the road, didn't you, at that time?
We had 5 out till 2 in the morning, but no, the road was still closed. We never got south side completely open till 5:15 Thursday afternoon.
I knew you were out, by then, real strong, we kept talking on the phone about that. But, and you were down there,
We've been on, basically on South Side Thursday, Friday, and today, back and forth between the city and the county, dealing with the electric company, because we would have to go in, move a tree, move a stump, get out of the way, let them set a new pole, run lines, go back in, move something for them. And on Friday, they basically just asked us to move out of the way, let them get the rest of the lines run and come back on Monday. So we went up there today and we loaded and hauled today, and the only thing that's left, as far as I know from my men, when I talked to them before I came in here, was the big root ball from the tree right there at the apartment building that is sitting at the corner of the church parking lot at the mouth of the hall. And we gotta figure out some way to get rid of it because we don't have anything to lift it. But it's out of the road now and everything else up there is gone, so.
well, good.
We'll get together with the city and get a game plan, and then I've talked to Joe Keaton. We're actually probably gonna give him a backhoe and a truck in the morning because of our interlocal agreement, and we're gonna help him haul some stuff here in town to help him out too in the meantime.
And we appreciate that. We certainly do, and we're glad to be able to provide the service. And you feel helpless in that situation.
We appreciate it.
You scratch your head and wonder how that can happen. And then you start to think, well, it could have been a whole lot worse. You know, if that thing had been off course just a few feet there, it could have taken that row of houses out if it got started. Or it could have happened at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. People didn't have any idea what's going on. They were trying to get up. But we're glad we were able to help. And we know it's something the city would return, and we've seen that time and again. You and I have, and we'll continue to do the same thing, Gary. And please pass it on to the mayor if you would.
I will.
Next, I'm telling you, this is a really significant announcement here, and something I've been working on for several years. People keep saying you're crazy, you know, it ain't gonna happen. And you know, sometimes if you keep doing something long enough, it'll happen. But several years ago, I can't remember the exact date now, I was in Frankfurt one day, and I don't even remember now what office I was coming out of. I saw this guy coming toward me, and I thought, I know that guy. And when I got up there, he spoke to him and said, "How you doing, Judge?" And I said, "Fine." And he was a kid from Van Leer running. And he worked for an engineering company called Tetra Tech. And he was a Blair boy as well. I can't remember his name right now. But anyway, we start talking, and I said, "Son, I haven't seen you in forever." And he said, "Me either." I said, "I don't get home that often." He said, "What are you doing down here?" And I said, "I'm down here a lot." And I said, "What do you do now?" And he told me he worked for Tetra Tech, and he said, "We're a big engineering firm, and we do a lot of installation of sewer systems and so forth." And he said, "I'm working on a couple of projects right now that we've got abandoned garbage dumps that are not connected to a sewer system. And we're trying to figure out a way to save them money and try to get a line somehow directly from that sewer line or sewer closure over to a wastewater treatment line that the city's operating as a part of the sewer system." I said, "Well, you know, funny thing, we've got exactly that same situation at home." I said, "Van Leer, you know Roger Blair, right? Just thought of his first name. Roger was this boy's name." And I told him, I said, "We've got exactly the same problem at home. I inherited a landfill that had been closed 5 or 6 years when I took office." I said, I got letters threatening me with $10,000 a day fines if I didn't close that landfill up there. Because it was still, even though we had a collection system, it still has a tendency, or could have the result, if you've got leakage around that thing, to leak into the creek. And that's not a healthy situation for people who live there. I talked to him maybe 10 minutes. And he said, why don't you give me a call sometime and I'll see what we can do. Maybe we can help you out a little bit. Well, it goes on for 4 or 5 months, and next thing you know, he called me and told me he was coming up that weekend and wanted to holler at me. And we just developed a little talking relationship. And he called me a couple days later and said, I'd like to talk to you about that. So I go to Frankfurt. He said, we could explore doing that. And he said, there might be some money available. Possibly they have to be a lot of money available because we don't have anything that we can, because we don't own the sewer system. We don't own the water system outside town. It's all on the Paintsville. And he said, well, that's a little problem, but it's not a deal breaker. And he said, if you can get them to partner with you in this thing, I said, I think they would. Well, and it goes on for quite a while. And one director of the utilities that wasn't too interested, didn't see a whole lot of upside for them. And he left later on, and we got another one. And he came in really excited, and yes, he thought he could see the advantage of that. And of course, we were operating on the assumption that it wouldn't be that expensive. But we kept the project going. I got some money for engineers to come up and look and do impact studies and so forth. And it proceeded through, and then there was another change at Paintsville Utilities, and the new manager was Bob Paxton over there right now. Bob, I talked to him, and he said, yeah, we can help on that maybe. I'd like to talk about it, and I've got to talk to my commission, so we did. And next thing you know, we start getting letters from Frankfurt. And it was almost like they'd hold out a piece of candy in this hand, and when you started to get it out of that hand, they'd take it over and put it in this hand. I told them, I said, man, I've heard of bureaucracies before, this is terrible. And there's 3 or 4 different agencies in play there. I mean, the Division of Water, I'm sure, and whatever else, Waste Management, Willard, and I don't know how many. But and everybody wanted to jump in the pie and kind of take control of it. But long story short, we stayed the course. We got Paintsville on board completely. They said, yes, sir, we want to help. I think it works out for them economically as well, because it gives them a different view of what they can do up at Paladician. Because the proposal that we made and what the project was designed as, to lay the closest sewer line that Paintsville has toward Bandelier is up at Paladician. That's 3 or 4 miles on up there to the landfill. So we were talking about, we had proposed going up to the landfill, starting a hook onto to that landfill property up there, put the necessary equipment in there, and lay that line all the way down Bandelier, down Miller Street. And thank goodness it was fairly close, almost all the way. There's some places it wasn't, but fairly close to the road or the highway or the property or the easements that we had or would have to get. The people that lived there said, oh, you're going to put a new sewer system. We said, yes, they agreed to it. We got 20 or 21 people signed off on it. And then we got some property back down at Paladician from another local person. And I'll like to make some of these names public later on down the road so people know who is really helping. But we got some significant interest from Frankfurt, and then, as I said, that kind of changed the goalposts a little bit. we're going over there and try to take care of it. In the meantime, it just kind of died. And then we kind of get it waking up again and then do it, get started. And we could tell the last 6 or 8 months it was really on track. And it got sent over for funding review a couple of months back, and I got a letter here dated July 4th, by the way. And Ken Melton is a professional engineer, and he's with Tetra Tech, I think. And he's been our go-to guy for the last little bit. And this is from the Energy and Environmental Cabinet. Says we have reviewed the plans and specifications for the above referenced project. The plans include the construction of approximately 2,128 feet of 12-inch PVC pipe, 6,146 feet of 10-inch PVC pipe, 13,007 feet of 8-inch gravity sewer line, a duplex pump station capable of 186 gallons per minute with 156 feet TDH, and I got to admit I don't know what TDH means. And a duplex pump station capable of 79.8 gallons per minute with 51.9 feet of TDH, 7,500 feet of 6-inch PVC, and 4,400 feet of 4-inch PVC force main. This is to advise that the plans and specifications for the above referenced project are approved, with approved in great big capital letters, with respect to sanitary features of design, oh, you put that in, I can't do that left-handed. Okay. Are approved with respect to features of sanitary features of design as of this date, with requirements contained on the construction permit as follows. Sewer lines crossing water mains shall maintain a minimum, this is just some other stuff I won't go through. I just want you to know that we waited an awful long time for this thing. And everybody kept saying, hey, you don't know what it's doing, it ain't gonna happen, it ain't gonna happen. Once we got some partners in the game with Paintsville Utilities and on the other side that really was interested in this thing, it was a pretty easy go. And I want to publicly thank everybody that was associated with it locally. And my road department was involved with it, and Sam made on how many trips up there. We all did. We had public meetings and everything we could do to facilitate the thing. And it looks like good things are going to come out of this, hopefully. Nothing is ever final, I guess, until, as Yogi said, it ain't over till it's over. But this is close to being over. And I'm just pleased as punch, as said, that this thing's happened the way it has. So the court didn't even see the letter until today, I guess. I finally got it out to all of them. But it's something that I can see is going to be a win-win-win for the people in Manning. People who live along that line are going to be able to, if they want to, and they got a sewer system that's not working, if they got a system they're going to replace, or a new system or whatever, and they can move on. They can move on later on. So it'll help them. It'll help the environment. You know, it'll take the potential for that environmental problem of leakage in that system, and it'll help us, because how often do we collect that stuff now? We drill all kinds of wells, monitoring wells for years, and watched to see if there was anything creeping into the waterway. But we did a lot of work that's going to go away now with this project if it's approved. So just wanted to tell all of you that sometimes good things do happen.
It will also add to the value of the property in that area.
For,
So it will also add to the value of the property.
oh, yes, without question, it'll help people's property values. And we had a lot of people that made that comment, and they've stayed in touch for that very reason. So, yeah, it's, and the court, Lord have mercy, like that deal every time they ask me, how's that thing going? What are you doing? And you didn't want to be negative all the time, but you didn't have much good to say until something would pop up. But maybe in just a few short weeks or whatever, we'd be able to say, hey, the funding is there and we're ready to bid the job. So keep your fingers crossed. But right now, it is approved to move forward, and that was the main thing. And that's several $1 million in construction for somebody that's going to come in here and spend money. But, and we appreciate that as well. Anybody got anything else to? Okay, Michael.
Yeah, we've got one other issue we need to discuss at some point in time, maybe by a special call or a special meeting. The bid for the solid waste contract was up in October. Remember?
Say it again.
The bidding, the new bids are due, and the solid waste contract for garbage pickup
Yeah.
is due in October. The Solid Waste Commission has reviewed their recommendations, and we need to sit down and try to figure out a date and time to set out a bid ASAP, so that you can have that get back to us. So I don't know if you want to maybe set a special time to do that, or
I think we should do that.
it'll take a little while to do that.
Yeah. Just in case. We don't want to be late on any of that stuff. Okay.
We discussed it, I think we need to get it done, we'd like to be able to send it out for bids by August, is that right? Because they do in October, the contract ends in October.
Well, if you're going to do that, we almost have to do a special meeting at some point in time.
Yeah.
They know they'll give you a call tomorrow. And we got one other item. We have a county road, 1074 down at Nickel Center adjacent to the church's parking lot. And it's an engineering problem for us. It's going to be if we don't kind of just get ahead of it. The county road bed is going to be when they blacktop, and that's blacktop on both sides of our county road. Our county road is literally going straight down through the middle of it. And it's already suffering some, I don't know, it's not in bad shape, but it's starting to crack and crumble in some places. It's going to get that way fairly soon. But what they're going to do is really going to exacerbate this if we don't take some action. Because when they put that blacktop down on their parking lot, the service of their parking lot is going to be an inch or two above ours, which means we're going to have a county road going right down the middle of two parking lots that is just like a funnel or a little small gutter, if you will, that all the water is going to run off the parking lot onto the county road and then sit there, or if gravity takes it out, gravity takes it out. Willard sent him out to take a look at that thing. He stayed there for a while and said that, told me just what I'm telling you guys, and I'll let you finish it. But he said if we don't do something, it's going to cost us. We can do something now and try to do something as close as to what their deadline is as we can. And we can get by with a 1-inch blacktopping patch, if you will, and be the same level. So Willard, and he proposes we do it now because it's about $2,100 or something if we do it now, and it's going to be substantial if we wait until the road is, water sitting on it and freezing and thawing, and not to mention acid conditions when in the wintertime. But is that essentially what you're recommending?
Basically, it's a section starting at the corner of Saddle Drive and going to the new bridge down there at the church. It's 310 feet long. It's about 14 feet wide. It's going to be an inch thick. It's only going to be about like 26, between 26 and a half and 30 ton of blacktop is what it's going to amount to. And it's going to eliminate a large safety issue as the fall and the winter gets here. You know, the water's not, the way the road goes down there, makes the curve and comes back over the bridge, it's got no place to go, it's gonna lay right in there, and it's gonna freeze, and anybody comes out through there, they're going out of the road. So and it's easier to go ahead and do it right now at the same time that they're doing the parking lot, because then you don't have to worry about, high spots, low spots, it's gonna be done all at the same time, that way you're gonna have proper runoff, and it's gonna take care of the problem.
And you can do that from your budget with no problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna, like I talked to you, I'm gonna go ahead with that, take that out of my patching money, because we're not gonna be doing the whole road, it's just gonna be a section. It's really the only section of the road that's got, that I can see any substantial damage at the time too.
So I guess I need a motion if you approve to add this on to our, amend our list to include this road on the next black mark.
We'll move.
Have a motion by Paul,
Second.
second by Darren. Hamel, any discussion? Not all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed, like sign? Motion carries. And that's all I have, unless, sir, you got something that you want to see the government about fiscal court? Just kibitzing today, huh?
Just a spectator, yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you there.
Anybody that's got anything else to say for the good of the county? Now I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
And a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Get her down, George.